My name is Dubravko Ćulibrk, and for some reason I'm the director of it's newly established, the AI Institute of Serbia. The full name in English is, I guess, the Artificial Intelligence Research and Development Institute of Serbia, I think, yes. And I think the slides are going to show this, and I have the tendency to actually rush my presentations, so I'm not going to do that. My day job, I'm a professor at the Faculty of Technical Sciences, and my expertise is machine learning in general, but mostly for the last 20 years, it was computer vision and then different applications in different domains, right? And how am I gonna, perfect. See, technology rules, right? And I'm gonna mess it up. Okay, that's me, perfect. So I'm not gonna talk about any specific topic. It's just a general intro that we do sometimes, talking to partners and so on. It's a new thing. It was formally established on March 18th last year. So what, year and a half old, right? Right now we have like 40 researchers, a little bit more than that, 30 of who are full-time. The others are kind of, we needed them, so we pulled them part-time to work with us. About half have a PhD, but that doesn't mean that we would, for some of them, we would like them to have a much stronger research experience, right? And then the other half are just PhD students, right, and researchers. And what it took us a while to get accredited. Well, not too much. It was like a year and 2 months to do that. But maybe we could have done it faster if we would have just taken over the researchers from the system or in the system already, which we did not want. So we wanted to make it a little bit different, and we wanted to make sure that everybody who's in the institute, or 80% of them, has some significant experience doing research somewhere else, or at least getting educated somewhere abroad, right? And why we do this is sort of, a no-brainer for us, but I'm not sure that everybody knows this. And if you look at it, right now Serbia has 50K plus programmers or something like that, and it doubled in the last, 6 or 7 years. And it's sort of our largest export sector right now. But then if you look at the machine learning conferences that kind of put you on the map, and for various reasons, I'm not going to get into them, we can talk about it later, we're just not there, right? We basically have a presence, and we are not sort of publishing, we're not doing research there, so nobody knows we exist. And I think this one is maybe a better visual representation. The ALICE is the European laboratory basically for AI, right? Everybody who's in AI in Europe is sort of a member of ALICE, right? And then if you kind of have the critical mass of researchers and the capacity, you kind of have an ALICE unit, what it's called. And these are the ALICE units that exist, right? There's like 35 of them, I think last I checked, in 14 countries of Europe. And I guess you know where Serbia is, right? But it's not just us, like, east of Vienna, there's nothing, right? So what we want to do is put a dot there to start with. It's not trivial. It has a lot of sort of things that you need to do. Not only as us, but like as the whole ecosystem, but we're going to try. And so what we set out to do is sort of to create a center of excellence, of course, in AI, right? And right now you'll see when I talk a little bit about the groups that we have, we kind of have a focus on AI for life science, green transition, and smart manufacturing. That's not all the groups. There are 2 more that are kind of fundamental and that we think you have to have them, right? But the idea in the end is sort of to have this institution which looks like good research groups or institutes outside of Serbia, which are sort of a flow-through organization, right? You go there, you do your PhD or you do your postdoc, you go off, right? You go out to Google or Amazon. If you're entrepreneurial, you go start your own startup, which we really, really try to support with our people. But in the end, what it amounts to is you get enough educated people to actually grow the ecosystem, right? And that's the goal, right? And so then when we started looking at it, we kind of realized that there's no single university or city in Serbia actually has enough of this expertise in our mind. So we're distributed, and you'll see that later. And what we really, really wanted is to have sort of a world-class research environment. I would argue it's better than what we usually have here, but we're getting there. It's not as good. But you'll see then the reason that then we thought about it. It was COVID, you could do all sorts of things online. So there was no reason for us to be stuck in one city. Our headquarters is in Novi Sad, which basically probably because I'm from Novi Sad. I don't know. We had quite a few researchers there. We have an office in Belgrade. Moreover, we have a team because we're looking for an office. We had one in the Science Technology Park, but had to leave it. So now we're looking for it. Then we have a team in Kragujevac, and we're sort of looking for people in niche that we like enough to hire, right? But hopefully then we connect all the universities. What is the corollary of that is that we don't really want to be part of any university in Serbia. So because if we become one, then everybody else gets chaffed about it, right? So we are just a state research and development institution, and that's how we're going to stay, right? And we kind of set it up that I guess I'm entrepreneurial and quite a few people there are. So we set it up right from the get-go to be kind of supportive of spin-offs and startups and things like that. So we created a sort of a creator-focused IP policy. We were kind of looking at Waterloo University in Canada, which is very well known for that. We set up a tech transfer office. We have a lady that does patents really well. So already we have like a few patents in this year. The only thing is that kind of restricts us is that if we are using money from the Serbian budget to support part of the research, then 50% of the license, 50% of the patent has to be owned by the institute. That's the Serbian law. We can talk and discuss, the commercialization rights, but this has to be like that. And the other thing that doesn't have to be like that, but I think it's the only that makes sense, is that for whatever we help develop, you have to be able to use it free in Serbia for whatever purpose you want, right? So we cannot charge people for that here. We can charge people for that outside of Serbia, right? And again, we kind of structured it as a government-backed startup. So the first thing you do when you start a startup is, you get yourself an advisory board of people that seem to be doing quite better at what you want to do than you are. And we actually did that. We, contrary to what you usually do, we kind of made it half-half in terms of people who are good researchers and scientists all over the world, and then the people who are entrepreneurial, GPs in VC funds and strategic advisors to governments to kind of help us drive this actually tech transfer part and development of technology. But then, in addition to the advisory board, you know, they meet like every 6 months or every year, provide inputs, provide connections. We actually realized that a good sort of a mechanism to get us to where we want to be in terms of research is to actually use people around the world we worked with before and who are doing research at the level that we want, right, as sort of a hands-on mentors. So we actually have people from like Rutgers and Bayern and some other places which who work with our researchers hands-on, kind of use them as a remote part of the team to get to do high-quality publications and high-quality work right away. And again, they're kind of split. Some are focused on actually doing great science. They're always focused on doing great science. Some are more scientific but focused on actually, you know, fundamental research. Some are more in companies, because we also want to do something that's relevant to the industry globally, right? So then you have maybe a researcher who's at Bayer or Siemens or something like that, working with our guys. And to start with, we started talking, and we're now doing initial projects with quite a few global companies. We don't, locally, we try to support, you know, the public companies and things like that. Yeah. Well, I'll get to the cry. But if we're doing with industry, something with industry, we kind of try to focus on global leaders, right? And of course, there's like a lot of local guys we work with. You don't care about that, right? And so the areas that we are interested in are these 5, right? Human-computer interfaces also does NLU and NLP, so understanding of the language, which we have to support for Serbia anyhow, for Serbian language, right? And then computer vision is sort of a basic thing. And then we have AI in healthcare, green AI, and smart factory. I don't really have the time for it, so you'll have to, so I'm just gonna stroll through the guys, maybe just letting you see some of the images and what people are doing. I'm super happy to share the presentation later, so you can go through it, right? And yeah, the last one is smart factories. There's quite a bit of industry in Serbia, not too smart, most of it. We want to, you know, change that. And so that's just the context and so on. And I think I used up my time. No, drop the mic. Thank you, guys. I think Oscar